Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I'm going to be doing my best to showcase Gorr and his new reworks in Timeline Battle in PvP. We'll talk briefly about PvE, but basically the majority of this is going to be focused on PvP because that is where a lot of people thought his value lied before, but is clearly entrenched now. And what you're going to see is basically he's pretty good. He's actually quite good. I'm not gonna say anything as crazy or as attention grabbing and hyperbolic as he's the best PvP character. He's the new meta for PvP. To be honest with you though, I kind of want to say that. I really do, and I am going to continue to invest in my Gorr to try and get closer to that. But there is one big elephant in the room that we have to address for Gorr. Before we can go very much further, and that is I am playing on manual, and that is not a feature that I think is avoidable. So what I mean to say is, if you want to perform well with Gorr in PvP, and by well I mean, you know, you're winning the majority of your matches rather than losing close to the majority of your matches, you are going to have to play him like this. And again, like this means manually. Now, I know this is going to immediately turn off a bunch of players are going to be like, ugh, manual PvP, Alex, but you're playing against an AI. That's so sad. Most PvP game modes in most games are played against an AI of your opponent, not a live version of your opponent. This has been the case with Marvel Future Fight for a long time, and although I generally would prefer if the character is very good in PvP on auto, okay, and I actually generally grade characters based on their auto performance specifically, so that is true. Lately, there has been very little shift in the PvP meta. Very little. So lately, PvP has been extremely dry. That's why I haven't really made many PvP videos. And if you go through and you look at the top teams, they are all variations on a very tight, very similar formula. You have Thanos and Hulk on basically every team, and then the third option is usually filled by either Colossus or Sentry or some other form of a character. The only one we're missing here that's a sort of a massive dominant meta is Adam Warlock, but he is banned this week in Vibranium. Otherwise, he would be there. So it's Thanos. It was Thanos and Adam Warlock and Emma. And now Emma's gone away and it's Hulk. So it's Thanos, Adam Warlock, and Hulk. And it's just this rotation of these three characters in some format, right? Every team has 2 out of the 3. Some teams rock all 3, and then some teams choose to remove 1 and add in Colossus or add in some other support type character like Hela, whatever. So PvP has just been so boring. That's the first thing. The second thing is, with the introduction of Hulk and tier 4s, a lot of characters just do way too much damage. Well, particularly Hulk just does way too much damage way too quickly. Adam Warlock also has that feature with the crazy burst damage on his second skill, but because of that, it makes autoplay a lot more difficult because your characters oftentimes, unless they're doing the exact perfect rotation, they will just instantly die. And I'll give you an example of this. After seeing how well he did there, I'm just going to pull up another team, and I'm going to show you how Gorr does and how he performs on autoplay. And I'm really going to highlight this to show you how much worse he is on auto. In the first rotation, he does his second skill, which is his bread and butter. Okay, this is his best skill. But now he's not going to do his second skill unless the end. Well, that was actually pretty good. He's performing a lot better than I thought he would. But you can see here he's not going to prioritize 2, and he's going to die. You can see here. This is a really good example versus Thanos. He never presses 2, and 2 is the only skill that gives him iframe ignore. So he ends up dying. I'm pretty sure he's going to die again to Thanos. He doesn't seem to have the damage to kill Thanos, again, unless he uses the second skill, which he doesn't want to use on auto. And this is... Okay, I got lucky there. Maybe that Thanos wasn't as strong, but you can definitely see what I'm trying to say. We're going to try one more team here. This team should be a bit more stacked defensively. And you'll see here that without his second skill available to him, he does it at the beginning because he has no other skills on cooldown. Or off cooldown, I should say. But after the very first rotation, Gorr refuses to use his second skill, and he will die, you know, 8 times out of 10. He'll die like 70-80% of the time because of it. You can see here, he does 5, he does 4. I mean, these are good skills. They have good buffs, accumulation, stuff like that. but no second skill. No iframe ignore means it's gone, right? If Sentry never did his first skill, which is iframe ignore, if Hulk never did his fourth skill, which is also iframe ignore, which he's doing right now, they would be terrible PvP characters. If Thanos never did his fourth skill, which is also iframe ignore, right? You can see the pattern here. Take away the iframe ignore skill, and all of these characters are terrible. Adam Warlock, take away his second skill. So that's really the issue here with Gorr. So that's what I want to say at the very beginning of the video, because I do feel a bit like a hypocrite. Lately, for the past year, I'd say, I have been highlighting the value of PvP characters that you can play on auto. And the thing is, we've gotten some really good autoplay PvP characters like Emma Frost, Spider-Man, Hela, Thanos, Adam Warlock. But recently with Hulk and now Gorr, it really doesn't work that way anymore. Hulk is sort of a problem on the offensive and defensive ends, but with Gorr, it's just really it's just overall, defense. I think Gorr's really bad on defense, which is good for attacking. Like if you want to attack a team that has Gorr. So it might be good for making PvP a little bit more egalitarian, because it may be a little bit easier to trade wins back and forth. But on offense, when you're playing him, I think he is a completely different beast when you can manually play him. So that's really what the rest of the video is going to be about. Again, I know I've really, tried to explain it as best as I can. There's still going to be some people that disagree and say that he's not good in PvP because you can't autoplay him, and I don't necessarily disagree with those people. But I really don't want Gorr to just disappear. Okay, that's just the honest truth. I want to use Gorr. He's cool, and I'm just tired of using Thanos and Adam Warlock and these boring PvP characters. I want to use someone new, and I think he has one of the strongest PvP leaderships. It's very underrated. 35% HP. And the debuff is very strong when you put it on a character that also gives you a strong offense with 2 lives, right? So he can tank moves, right? You can swap him in to sacrifice one of his lives to absorb a heavy hit or an ultimate ability, a tier 3 ability from someone. So I really like the flexibility that he brings. I'm not necessarily saying this is the best PvP team, but I really like this team. And then, of course, Hulk just does what Gorr can't. As far as the build goes, I do have 6 Odin's Blessings. I have the 4 heal, and I have the 2 for skill cooldown and physical attack. His stats are very hard to cap unless you have very good, like, godly cards. Even my cards are not enough to cap his important stats here because he doesn't have a uniform. So this is, I think, the thing that's holding Gorr back the most. And I don't think he's ever going to get a uniform like native tier 3. It'll be years before he gets a uniform, unfortunately. But ideally, I would have the dodge capped. So I'm still 9% off, or 8% off of having it capped. And then I would like to have the crit damage a little bit higher, because 167 is kind of low. But I also need 4 more slots to give him 4 more HP Urus to make him tankier. So you can see here, I'm juggling all these stats that I just don't have the space for, right? Like I don't have the space for anything, but I need like 1 more gear. He needs an extra gear slot. So yeah, unfortunately, that's really where it stands with him. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to replace those 2 dodge Urus with HP, if that's more valuable. I'm not exactly sure. Dodge does serve some purpose in PvP, believe it or not. As far as the type enhancement, I'm rank 4. This could be higher to do more damage to most of the metas, particularly Hulk and Adam. Stage 12 Power of Angry Hulk. I think offense is more of his problem than defense, as I'll try to show you guys. I have a mighty CTP of regeneration. Again, I would like this to be a higher roll, a 20/20, or I would prefer it to be even a brilliant. You could go for, and I haven't experimented yet with a mighty or a brilliant authority to go for the damage reduction. He already has damage reduction. He has 40%, so you could try to stack that even higher to get that like really that damage crunch that Thanos gets when he procs his brilliant authority. But yeah, I'm testing the regen right now because he has such good healing and such nice HP stat. And then yeah, no uniform. The artifact, I actually do have a 3-star artifact on him. It's got a bad roll, but I can't re-roll it. The yellow stat is kind of useless. It's only for PvE. I would prefer to have decreased pierce damage. I think if I could get a 4-star or a 5-star with decreased pierce damage, I think it could really help his survivability a lot. But this is a purely offensive artifact, so it's not, I don't think it's that valuable. Honestly, for PvP, I think this artifact is as valuable for the yellow stat if you can roll it to pierce reduction as it is for the Shadow of Pain passive. I actually think the passive is not much better than just having that yellow stat. But yeah, as far as the SO stat goes, you could go for something defensive. But yeah, as I want to show you guys in some more clips here when I do some more battles, Thanos is really the biggest issue. Thanos is the tankiest one of the tankiest characters in the game, even though he doesn't have 2 lives. And oftentimes when I fail to sweep a team with Gorr, let's try this team. Oftentimes when I fail to sweep a team with Gorr, it's because I wasn't able to burst down Thanos. So that's really the issue. But yeah, when you play on manual, you can auto spam the second skill. It's really nice. Here, I don't want to spam too many skills because I don't want to die to reflect. Actually, I think, yeah, I don't want to die to reflect from Emma. We're going to run away just a little bit. I don't want to employ too much, like, cheesy running tactics. Because I just want to showcase that really the only thing I need to do to make Gorr viable for PvP is just press the second skill. I don't need to do all this like running and kiting and like cheesy stuff. I just need to press 2 and that's it. So it's not a very involved autoplay. The only character you really need to run away from is Hulk and maybe the occasional Thanos. But otherwise, you just need to press 2, which is pretty nice. And a lot of Gorr's skills are cancelable, which is also very, very nice. That you can just cancel through basically 4 and 3 quite instantly. But yeah, Thanos is where I'm going to struggle. He does a lot of damage at the beginning, so you have to run away. And then it's just about getting enough burst. Here, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I've actually never fought a Spider-Man if he's going to one-shot me. No, he doesn't. Okay, and then we just stall a little bit. Oh, he webbed me up. Okay, cute. And we just get that. Oh, that's another really nice thing about Gorr that I want to showcase. A lot of his skills linger after he dies, which can get you free kills after the fact, which is really nice. So you can actually get kills on Adam Warlock after he's killed you with his second skill. I can't show you guys that right now because Adam's banned. I can actually try if I look for another team here in another league. But if not, yeah, maybe in Platinum, no one's using him. Oh, wow, that's a team. Gorr's leadership does not affect Adam, my dude, but let me try and show you guys what I'm talking about here, where his attack lingers and kills Adam after the fact. So we're just gonna do, we're not even gonna do 2, we're just gonna do 3 and 4. And he's gonna kill us. Look at that. You see that? He killed us, but then the lingering damage killed him. Isn't that so cool? I think that's a really cool feature. I'm really glad that I was able to show you guys right away. It's half the time when I want to show features in PvP videos, it takes me like 100 tries and I have to cut the first 99 tries out. But yeah, really cool feature. Not many characters have lingering damage like that on cancelable skills. Like, for example, Hulk has lingering damage on his 5th skill when he slams down, but you have to make it all the way through the animation to the slam down. It doesn't work otherwise. Whereas with Gorr, it's as soon as you press the 3rd skill, it has this like these delayed plumes that come up from the ground. So, am I a Gorr simp? Is probably the question you're asking now. Yeah, I probably am a Gorr simp. Yes. Am I so bored with the PvP meta that I'm desperate for any sort of novelty? Yes. Do I genuinely think Gorr has some value in PvP? I do. Yes, I do. I don't think he's as strong or as consistent as Thanos or Hulk. And maybe not even as strong or consistent as Adam Warlock, but I still think he's good. I do still think he's good, and he's probably good enough to be maybe the 4th best PvP meta, which again is not necessarily enough for everyone, but see there, you can sort of start to see it there. When you fight against tankier Thanoses, you do find that Gorr's damage is just a little bit off, and he just needs a little bit more of a push. And it's actually really hard to kill a Thanos that has a brilliant authority. The best example of Gorr's other shortcoming offensively, where he can't do enough damage to kill very tanky Thanos, is against the top-rated Vibranium player right now. We're going to do a friendly match just so I can show you this, but essentially, this is the other thing I wanted to highlight, that Gorr doesn't seem to have enough juice in him to finish Thanos. This may be because I need more Odin's blessings. Wow, I just died right away. It's okay. I just need 1 life to show you guys what this looks like. We're just going to crank out all of his skills. Okay, that worked. I'm not exactly sure why that worked. Maybe I hadn't triggered his his authority yet. But you can see here that I'm also having a bit of trouble killing Hulk. You sort of have to kill in the first rotation. If you don't kill in the first rotation, then you're in big trouble because you only have, you know, 5 or 6 seconds. For Hulk, you only have about 5 seconds, 5-6 seconds before he can do his 4th skill again, and he'll wipe you. Like he'll one-shot you. So you sort of have about 1 rotation, 1.5 rotations to do it. But really, that is the only other issue I see with Gorr. So my analysis is essentially as complex as it is that I've made it. I'll try to simplify it here. I do think Gorr has a place in the PvP meta. However, like a lot of other PvP characters, my analysis depends on you having a very stacked build. I do not think an average build or a so-so build Gorr is going to do anything like you can get away with for Adam Warlock, for Sentry, and other characters who probably have a lot more value in other players' eyes because they don't have to invest as much and they'll still get a better output, right? Like Sentry and Adam are amazing on autoplay, whereas Gorr is not. However, if you're bored of the PvP meta as it is and you've gotten tired of the incumbent dominant performances by Thanos and Hulk and Adam and Sentry, and you want something new and it's time for change, I would say take a look at Gorr as long as you have the resources to pump into him. I would say at minimum, you're going to need to start with a Mighty, either a Mighty Authority or a Mighty Regen. And then if you can go to a Brilliant, that would be even better. I'll experiment with more options, but I don't think that Greed or any other CTPs are really going to do much because I don't think, I think he needs the offense as much as he needs the defense, but I think building him as a glass cannon isn't really going to work. He's just basically going to end up trading with one character, which I don't think highlights enough of his value. I think he has enough value to go a little bit further than simply trading with Adam or trading with one other character. But I do think it involves a large investment up front and then auto play off and playing manually, which I know is also not attractive for a lot of players. But yeah, I'm a massive Gorr simp, so I wanted to make this video highlighting the changes and highlighting the value now. And I'll probably do one more follow-up video once I've maxed out his build. I'm just waiting to see if I can get my hands on a higher ranked artifact. That's really what's holding me back. I also want to see if I can get a higher CTP, either a 20% roll on the Mighty or a Brilliant. But I want that and I want the artifact before I really, because I want to give him the Odins. But I'm kind of hesitating on that in case we get a PvP meta between then and now, right between now and Black Friday. Then there's going to be no point for Gorr at all. But if we don't get a meta for PvP by Black Friday, I think I'll go sort of all in on him and see how far we can push him. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching E4 Gorr, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.